This Gothic Revival stone church is the oldest church structure in Quincy. Charles Howland designed and built the original church building in 1852 to 1853. The pointed arch windows and bell tower are particularly common to the Gothic Revival style. The bell tower contains 11 bells and the only true carillon in Quincy. Two valuable Tiffany windows crafted by Louis Comfort Tiffany of New York graced the interior at one time. The church contained Quincy's most magnificent organ, totaling 2,772 pipes, and housed an altar that was considered to be one of the finest in America. The altar is one of 6 American altars featured in the book Notable Altars of England and America. St. John's is also significant as the oldest Episcopal church body in Quincy, dating back to 1837. The first bishop of Illinois, Reverend Philander Chase, D.D., organized the parish on Easter Day of that year as the spiritual home to 24 members. It was one of the first 4 parish churches in the Illinois Diocese of the Episcopal Church. The other 3 were in Chicago, Jacksonville, and Rushville. In 1852, a meeting was held that contracted Charles Howland, master builder, to erect a church at the estimated cost of $8,000 to be ready by the following year. The building was completed in 1853. Several years after its construction, St. John's was considered the historic mother church of the diocese. In 1877, the General Convention of the Episcopal Church divided Illinois into 3 dioceses. The west central portion of the state became the Diocese of Quincy, and the city became known as Sea City of the Episcopal Diocese. At the time, the parish church became known as St. John's Cathedral, which remained until 1962, when the Sea City became Peoria, and the church returned to parish status. Then in 1878, the church became consecrated and dedicated by the bishop. Several additions have been made to the building, and it has been renovated several times with dates varying throughout records. These additions were in harmony with the original building and were constructed of the same locally quarried rough limestone blocks. As previously mentioned, Charles Howland built the original structure in 1852 to 1853, with the transepts or chapels and sanctuary added in 1867 by Howland as well. In 1875, the third addition was added that consisted of a large parish hall, a church office, and a kitchen area. Then in 1879, Robert Bunce designed the other early addition of the chapel and meeting rooms known as the Old Cathedral Hall. The interior of this addition was gutted by a fire in 1985 but was since then restored. The 11-bell carillon was given to the church in memorial of Teresa Woodruff after she died in 1903. She was the last of the group that organized the St. John's Parish back in 1837. The interior of the church changed dramatically in 1907 when the retiros, or set of carved panels behind the high altar, were added as a memorial to Richard F. Newcomb. The singular piece was designed by famous Eastern church designer Ralph Adams Cram of Boston, hand-carved in Germany, and assembled in this country. A year after the installation of the reredos, the congregation completed an extensive renovation at the cost of about $50,000. Later 20th century additions added the education wing to the east of the original structure. Throughout all of these additions, the character of the church has remained the same. In August of 2002, a devastating fire caused by lightning destroyed much of the church's interior and roof. The roof was completely reconstructed and the stained glass windows were removed and warehoused in Peoria before they were cleaned and restored. The exterior was made to look more like it did when the structure was originally built, including replacing 4 dormer windows on the roof that were once removed and putting in stained glass windows that were once replaced with louvers. More changes occurred in the interior due to loss of artifacts and artwork, but the building was returned to about an 1860s time frame. Over the years, the church building has been home to such local programs as CASA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Helps Ministry, and the Hereford Germany Exchange Program. It has been a great asset to the community and remains a great historical landmark for the citizens of Quincy. This Historic Quincy Business District podcast was produced by WGEM. Special thanks to the Gardner-Denver Museum of Architecture and Design, the Historical Society of Quincy and Adams County, and Quincy Preserves for providing information. For more information, you can visit www.downtownquincy.com or walk to the HQBD office at 128 North 5th Street. I'm WGEM's Rich Kane.